Whoops. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
I'll just make sure I'm in the picture here. So this morning I'm talking to Amanda Hoag, who is a student here at BCC, and just going to talk a little bit about your experience here and where you're planning to go from here. So good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me a little bit about how you started at BCC. I mean, did you have kind of a transition into the college? Tell me about that.
That's funny. I did absolutely have a transition into the college. I came fresh out of high school, not knowing what I wanted to do, where I wanted to be, and very soon figured out that I wasn't sure if college was for me, and I took about 5 years off exploring different options and decided to return here to BCC and discovered that college actually is what I want to be doing, and I love it. And I had excelled rather quickly. I had started out in a developmental reading class, and
Which is like a pre-college
Right.
level reading. Yeah.
right, and I am very thankful that I did that because it had built off like the classes following that were a build off of where I had started, and had I jumped right into college level, I don't think I would have succeeded.
So you did that when you first came in, the first
Right.
time you were at BCC.
Right.
And did you feel that way when you were in the class initially?
I felt a little bit like a failure.
You did?
I did. I felt like why can't I place it? Because I've always had this interest in English in general, and I took honors English in high school.
Oh, so it was kind of a shock when you
Yeah,
came here?
it really was.
Yeah.
But then come to find out, there's many students, majority, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes,
that
that's
place
true.
in developmental courses.
Yes.
And
So you didn't,
that's
yeah, it's not unusual.
right.
And then you left and stayed out of school for about 5 years. What brought you back?
I actually started getting angry. Not angry in the like a sense of like violence or anything.
Yeah.
I just felt like I really wanted to be doing something, and I was not feeling useful or successful at home and trying this job or trying that
Right.
job, different jobs. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and
So-
everything that was available that you don't need college for wasn't anything I was interested in.
Yeah, so you sort of hit this dead end and realized that you needed a degree. You
Yes.
needed to come to college, which I think is how people come back under a whole different set of motivation and find it to be much more what they want and are much more successful. So you're back now, and what are you studying? What area? It's a bad question.
I've kind of done the wishy-washy thing. In the beginning, I came in as a pre-nursing major.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had gone through some medical stuff of my own, like health issues of my own, and then found a passion for the nursing field. I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that a lot of my family members are nurses.
Oh, okay.
And then I took the Alternatives to Violence class and discovered that
That was part of the criminal justice.
it's actually part of the Peace and World Order.
Oh, right, that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and I discovered that I really, really enjoyed that. I enjoyed speaking out. I enjoyed just the whole coming together, the unification of people for a greater good.
for a cause.
Yeah, and so I had talked to a few people here who I consider to be mentors of mine, and they had said to me, actually I remember one person in particular had said to me, "Why are you in the nursing major? I can see you being a teacher, why are you doing this?" And for a long time, well, what felt like a long time really wasn't, it was like 2 semesters. I had toyed with the idea of changing my major, but I guess because of the nurses in my family, I was too ashamed, I think, to want to say I don't want to really do this. And then finally I was like, you know what, I think you're right. So I went and I changed my major, and I absolutely love it, which is liberal arts with a concentration of Peace and World Order.
So it was, you felt some pressure to keep keep on with this
Yeah.
nursing path, even though it wasn't right for you. But then you have a mentor who encouraged you to think about peace and world order, which is an interesting field of study.
It really is.
Yeah. So, and it's part of the liberal arts program, but when you leave here, your plan is to transfer. I mean, what do you see yourself doing at some point?
I definitely want to work with people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right now trying to decide, and there isn't really a whole lot of difference, but either a psychology or a sociology, which kind of mirrors peace and world order in a way.
Right.
And they're all kind of in the same, they go hand in hand with each other. But I also want to tie that into a teaching degree.
I see.
So eventually, like a master's in education to have with some kind of human studies.
Right.
Type.
So that's probably the area you'll go. It sounds like it will evolve, and you get a better picture as you go through.
Yeah, and I still have a couple semesters left here.
Right.
So I'm thinking I want to explore as much as I can and see exactly where I want to go. I mean, I know I have to start making decisions about where I want to transfer. I'm definitely going to transfer. I'm looking at either Smith or MCLA, depending on what I ultimately go into and what's available in terms of like, scholarships and whatnot. But yeah, that's definitely a goal of mine.
Amanda, when you look back to your sort of high school years, etc., did you imagine yourself going to college and transferring? And are you the first? Tell me about your family.
My
family, college, etc.
My mom has an associate's in nursing.
Okay.
She's the only one in my immediate family to have a college degree.
Okay.
My grandmother, who is my hero, she has her bachelor's in sociology.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So your grandmother actually has a bachelor's.
Yes.
And you said you're a hero, role model.
Definitely.
Is she still alive?
Yes. Yeah, she is. I talk to her all the time. She's one of my biggest supporters.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And
that really helps.
And my sister, actually, I don't want to like steal the thunder here and
that's
take
okay,
all the
steal
credit,
away.
but I've definitely been advocating for her to come to college, and because of certain learning disabilities as well, she was hesitating to do it, and she's here and she's doing well.
Oh,
she's in some developmental courses, but she's loving them.
That's great. So you were a real role model for her, which I think is.
I would like to think so.
Well, my guess is you were.
I would hope so.
So that's really powerful. So tell me about any support you've had here in terms of academic support. You know, what services have you used that you think has been really helpful for you?
Wow, there's been so much here. I'm actually going to be sad to graduate and move on.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's very hard.
It's a very supportive environment.
Yeah, I've had so many helpful faculty, whether it be actual staff or professors. TRIO has been amazing. I don't think I would be where I am without TRIO.
And TRIO is a program for first generation, low income students. It's a federally, I'm just explaining it to people, federally funded, and you get a lot of academic support and career support through that program.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
And I've been involved recently in work study, which has been good at keeping me motivated. And it's actually, I feel like it's building a tougher skin, because I started out afraid to take on too many classes or put too much on my plate, and then I've slowly been building my way up to doing more than just part-time. And
are you full time now? Or
I'm 3/4
time. 3/4. Okay.
And I have work study, and plus I am also tutoring for human growth and development, and I'm helping one of the human growth and development faculty. I sit in on her class and help her students.
Right. How's that going?
I love it.
Are they good?
I didn't think I was going to do well at it at first, and I still get nervous at times, which is pretty normal.
Understandable.
Like, what if I forget something?
Right.
But it's not expected to. There's no perfect.
Yes.
And that's what I have to keep reminding myself. And I think all the students need to know there's no perfect. You just try your best, and that's all you can do.
Well, from all that you're saying now, it's sort of like this permission to just be who you are. You know, you come in and you think nursing, but then you realize it's a different path, and you're taking on a lot of challenges, which is really admirable. kind of these safe steps that you're taking, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So we were at a conference not too long ago,
Mm-hmm.
the Learning Assistance Conference, the New England chapter, and you received a scholarship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I was very honored.
Yeah. So
Very much so.
tell me a little bit about how you felt when you knew you were a recipient.
I was under the impression at first, and I don't know why, because there was nothing that clearly stated. I thought there would be more than one recipient for the scholarship.
Right.
And when I got there was this big screen in the room where every attendee of the conference could read. It said my name and congratulations for the scholarship.
Did you not know before that moment?
I did. I knew that I was getting the scholarship.
But you thought you would be one amongst others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I was like, whoa. I felt like a celebrity for the day,
Yeah,
to put it mildly. And they had a lot of professional people that are in the academic field. And every person who knew who I was, and congratulations. And one woman told me she cried when she read my essay, which was like really touching.
Yeah.
And she said she felt it was genuine, and it absolutely. I mean, I put my heart and soul into that. And
That's wonderful.
And Liz Ruckel Morrison had guided me through the process and really gave me the courage to actually apply for it, or else I would have not. Self-esteem, I think it's pretty normal with most people.
Yeah.
You don't feel sometimes you feel less than or not adequate enough.
Yes.
And that's pretty.
So are these experiences helping you to feel more solid and like you deserve these things, and you have the ability to be really successful?
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
Hopefully taking it in.
Yeah, and it just takes that one person to believe in you to help blossom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Amanda, if you were going to advise or talk to someone coming into the college, let's say someone coming in who was what they call non-traditional age, so when you came back 5 years later, what kind of advice would you give that person?
I would
maybe she's nervous or he's nervous. What would you tell that person?
Well, for one, don't, like what we had mentioned earlier, don't be afraid to be who you are. Don't be afraid. I don't like the word fail, but don't be afraid to make mistakes, because it's going to happen, and you can't beat yourself up over things that are out of your control, really. And ask questions, definitely. You learn to navigate a whole lot if you ask questions. Networking with other students is huge. Being involved in whatever it may be that you're interested in, and then you meet people from there, whether it be students, faculty.
So meeting
take
people,
your time. Sorry,
take your time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is really good advice.
Yeah.
What about if the student said, oh, I come in and I'm going to need math before I can do college math, and I have to take developmental writing, and they're really discouraged, which is what a lot of people feel when they find out that they can't go right into college courses. What would you tell them?
Well, for math, I'm still in the math mods, and the shame factor of why me? Why do I have to do this?
Right.
Definitely is there, and I know I'm not alone in that. However, going through passing quizzes, you get the teacher that's like, good job, and it's that picker upper, like, oh, I can do this. And it's the whole concept of not setting yourself up to not be successful. And taking developmental classes is not a bad thing. It's definitely a way. It's set up to help you succeed for sure.
Right, and I know you said the reading really helped you do that. When you first came in, you felt like it really put you in a position to be more successful.
Because everything branches off of each other.
Yes.
And you don't want to jump into something that's unfamiliar.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole comfort factor is, everybody strives to do well, but you want to be comfortable in what you're doing, and that gives you a sense of self as well.
That's great. That's true. Well, it's been really nice talking to you. I hope that we can maybe have a conversation at a later point, and we can catch up on what's happening in your life. And I wish you lots of luck.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
And it was
Thanks.
nice talking with you as well. Thank you.
Thanks, you're welcome.